Okay, so let's be real for a sec. Like, who actually enjoys salary
Yeah,
negotiation?
nobody.
It's right up there with, like, I don't know, getting your teeth pulled.
Oh, 100%.
But, and this is big, but getting good at this whole negotiation thing, it's like a superpower for your wallet, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking potentially thousands, tens of thousands, even more left on the table over a lifetime if you just like shy away from that conversation.
Yeah.
So today we're diving headfirst into the wild world of salary negotiation. And to guide us on this journey, we have a super helpful YouTube video from, wait for it, Indeed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the job site itself. They're giving us the inside scoop on how to navigate this, let's be honest, often dreaded territory.
They would know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like any good deep dive, our goal isn't just to, dip our toes in the water. We're coming out of this with actual tactics.
Right.
We're talking about not just knowing what to do, but actually feeling like we can do it. Confident,
Right. Yeah.
And indeed, they get this. Like right off the bat, they emphasize knowing your worth before you even think about saying the word salary.
Yeah. It's crucial.
And they illustrate this with a story that's both hilarious and honestly kind of eye-opening. One of the hosts, Gina, she used to work a government job, and get this, her salary info was public.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine? Like, everyone in the office knows what everyone makes.
Oh, that's wild.
Talk about a crash course in understanding your market value.
That's very transparent, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not just about knowing what your role is worth, but taking a look at the whole landscape. And the video really stresses looking at multiple job descriptions, not just fixating on one title.
Right.
Because that's how you get a real sense of what your skills and experience are actually worth. Right?
And I think that's where it gets kind of interesting, especially for people who are maybe newer to the workforce. Total compensation.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about your base pay.
Right.
We're talking benefits, bonuses, stock option, like the whole package deal. And knowing what those things are worth is really important too.
Oh, absolutely. And they even give you a tool to help figure this out. The MIT Living Wage Calculator.
Oh, cool. I like that.
It's free, it's online, and it basically helps you calculate how much you actually need to cover your basic expenses in your specific area. So that right there, that's your baseline for negotiation.
It is.
Right. Before you even step into the ring,
Yeah.
you got to know like what you need just to survive, let alone thrive, right?
Sure.
And to help us wrap our heads around our finances, the video introduces this idea of the 50-30-20 rule. Basically, it's like a budgeting framework. So 50% of your income goes to those essential needs, rent, groceries, all that good stuff.
Gotcha.
Then you've got 30% for wants. Although, side note, they put manicures in this category. And I'm like, hold on, are we sure about that? Because manicures are practically essential for, like, adulting.
Well, it depends who you ask, right?
True, true. Maybe that's just me.
No judgment.
And then the last 20%, that's for savings and paying off debt. It's a simple framework, but it really makes you think about where your money's going.
It does, yeah.
And this is where the video does a fantastic job of connecting it back to salary. Because it's not just about getting any number.
Right.
It's about getting a salary that allows you to comfortably cover those needs, those essential needs.
And actually be able to, like you said, thrive and save and do the things you want to do.
Exactly. So it's really about securing an income that lets you work towards your goals and build a solid financial future. Of course, like any good rule, this 50-30-20 thing, it's a guideline, not like a strict rule book.
Right. Everyone's different. Yeah.
Exactly. We all have our own, money personalities and priorities and all that. But the main takeaway here is to be intentional with your finances, know what you need, and then use that knowledge to negotiate a salary that actually aligns with your bigger financial picture.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where things get interested, right? Like the video talks about approaching this whole negotiation thing as just business, not taking it personally. But how do you actually do that when, your brain's screaming about imposter syndrome and stuff?
Yeah, it's tough.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, even the most, I guess, seasoned negotiators, you get those butterflies, It's natural to be a little nervous.
Totally.
But I think, going back to what the video was saying about keeping it professional, that in itself shows self-worth. You know what I mean? It's like you're showing them, hey, I'm thoughtful. I value what I bring to the table.
It's like you're saying, we're going to have an adult conversation about what my contributions are worth.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I love that.
So,
okay, but let's talk about curveballs for a sec. So the video, it does a good job with common scenarios. But what happens when they throw something totally unexpected at you?
right.
Like maybe they lowball you on the salary, but then they're like, but you could have every Friday off.
Wow.
It's like, okay, that's a good problem to have, but still.
That's where being flexible comes in. And I think, not being so married to the script that you had in your head,
Right.
being able to adapt, because it's more like a dance than, like a presentation.
Oh, I like that.
So being able to go with the flow. And that's where I think it's helpful to have some backup options. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like, all right, if they can't budge on salary, is there a signing bonus? Could you get maybe an extra week of vacation or something? Thinking about those other things that maybe could sweeten the deal a little bit.
And not being afraid to just straight up ask.
Exactly.
Because the worst they can say is no.
100%. And sometimes the most direct approach is the most effective, in my experience.
Totally.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like this, demanding thing, but just being like, hey, I understand your position on this, but, I was really hoping we could find a solution that works for both of us. Would you be open to, maybe discussing this instead?
It's gold.
Yeah. Seriously. Okay, so we've covered so much ground here, from figuring out what you're worth to navigating those actual nail-biting negotiation moments. But for our listeners who are like, okay, this is all great, but I've actually never done this before, what's your advice to them? Where do they even start?
Right. It's like any skill. Right. You're not going to just pick up a guitar and shred a solo.
Right. Exactly.
You got to start small. And I think even if it's in your current role, maybe you try to negotiate a small raise.
Right.
Or in your next job, you advocate for yourself to get, a little bit higher of a starting salary.
So it's about getting comfortable with the conversation itself.
Yes. 100%.
I think if it's not this high stakes thing.
And I think even those quote unquote failed negotiations, they're still valuable.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because that gives you information for the next time. You know what to tweak and how to, I guess, adjust your approach.
Totally. It's all data.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of learning from others, have you seen the comments section on that Indeed video?
Huh.
Because people are sharing their negotiation stories, the good, the bad, the oh my God, I can't believe I said that moments. It's amazing.
Yeah. And it's so relatable, right?
Yes.
Because we've all been there in some capacity.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's salary or you're trying to get a good deal on a car or something.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It's always a little,
Always.
Yeah.
This whole deep dive, it's really shifted my perspective on this whole salary thing.
Yeah.
It's not like this big scary monster in the closet anymore.
Right.
It's more what did Indeed call it? A chance to level up both professionally and in your bank account.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's about advocating for yourself, you are worth it and you deserve to be compensated fairly.
Totally. It's that saying, closed mouths don't get fed.
100%.
You got to be able to articulate your value, what you bring to the table.
And it's not always just about the money,
Right.
although that's definitely a nice bonus.
Of course.
But it's really about designing a work life that you're happy with, that aligns with your goals, your priorities,
Yeah.
and your financial needs as well.
Okay, so as we resurface from this deep dive into the depths of salary negotiation.
Back to the surface.
Yes, back to the surface. I'm left with this thought. How can we all shift our mindset from fear to heck yeah, bring it on.
I love that.
Right. Because it's a journey.
It is.
It's not like you just wake up one day and you're a negotiation master.
Right.
But every step you take toward getting more comfortable with it, that's a step towards a better future for yourself.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
More fulfilling, more financially secure, all that good stuff.
I love it.
So, tell you what, if you're feeling brave, share your negotiation stories with us on social media.
Yes.
The wins. Oh my God, why did I say that? Moments.
Been there.
Exactly. Tag us. We'd love to hear them.
Yes, please.
Until next time, happy negotiating, everybody.